Lois taking over. Lois is in the house. What's up? What's up? The Earl world is back. And Lois, who has been sleeping the last 3 hours, literally hits awake. Lois, come on now. What are you doing? Lois, go back to bed. Go sleepy. She has had one of several walks. Go back to the bed. Go sleepy. She does know the cameras are on. Sometimes she just stares off into space. What up? What up, D? You gotta go pee pee? Lois is about 15 years old. That is a big TV. 85 inches. She loves the TV. She is a good dog. She's posing for you guys. Yeah, Lois got all the time in the world for jibba jabba. Trust me, she ain't disappointed. She knows the alternative. The Lois cam. I mean, dogs can live a long time. Yes, Lois lives the life. All right, she's like, all right, I'll just chill out on the hardwood floor. No. There we go. I mean, when she gets up to go get some water, I'll take her for a walk. I'll take her for a walk. What up, Ryan? Yes, Lois is living. Trust me on that one. Yes, Lois be chilling right now. But she's not in pain. I can assure you of that much. Yeah, she likes walks. I mean, I do my best. And the cough sounds awful. It sounds like she's in pain, but she's really not. She just, she's 15, man. I mean, a 15-year-old dog in perfect health is going to be a little rough, but she is a cutie pie, no doubt about that. Yeah, I'm always fucking around with the camera angle, and so that's why it's different for every stream. So I don't have it on a set. I know. She does seem frail at times, but then today, took her for an hour walk. She didn't cough once. What up, William Zoom? We got 2 of the 4 mods in the house. Yeah, Shandy, what up from Australia? I have had a pretty good day. this new manager be sending me out already. I mean, they don't fuck around, man. Today is my first day technically with them, and like they're already sending me out. So now it's just a matter of time. What up, SCBID show? He is the man who got me this. Um, yeah, auditions, TV shows, probably Gutfeld, that he does. He is one of the, for his age group, one of the bigger managers in the town. Like he has probably a client roster of 100 people, and they all work. It's not like 20 work and 80 don't. Like they all work. So next set probably Comedy Store Saturday night. See, I never watch Friends, so I don't get the reference. I get the Chandler doll being from New York. The question is, do you get the reference? So, Mayton, I mean, I don't think Mayton makes or breaks you, but I think it would be a good interview. Because I actually set people up. They asked me a question. It's like a game of tennis. Like if you watch that interview I did with Jesse Lee Peterson, it was a great back and forth. And when me and Corolla got going, it was a great back and forth. So I'm not sure on that one. I'm not sure. I don't watch Friends. Are your chances to be at Tony's Rest? I mean, I don't know. I mean, Tony's probably got a lot of famous comics in his ear. Hey, I'd love to do it. None of them like wrestling. So, I mean, if Tony sits down and goes, okay, what comics are funny and like wrestling? I mean, I'm the first phone call. But, I'm not that close with Tony, to be honest. So, we're not enemies. We're friends, but we used to be a lot closer. But, it's hard to be close with someone when they're in Texas and I'm here. So, yeah, but you got to have a few comics. It's got to be like the Ric Flair roast, where there was like 7 comics and maybe 10 wrestlers or wrestling like characters. David Manning, and who was the referee in World Class Championship Wrestling. Well, I mean, see, I understand why some of my friends chose Jeff's side. They have to. They make money off of Jeff. And so I get that. And I don't ask people to carry my feuds for me. So yeah. I mean, I'm always very subservient when I'm on someone else's podcast. So once I got the flow of how Corolla likes to run it, then I started chiming in. It was a little more difficult because the co-host is saying stuff too, and I want to be nice to him because it's their show. I'm just a guest. But once it got rolling, I thought that waiver. I don't know what that's. Kevin said mean things about Matty Hughes passing. I don't know what that means. Oh no, the Jeff thing is not a work for me. Yeah, and David Manning was funny. Like I don't know if it was picked up. I think you can still see the Ric Flair roast on Fight TV or Thriller or what. I don't know. He was like, "I'm gonna run the light. Fuck it." And the guy, there was a guy at the bottom of the stage. I'm sure you guys couldn't see him, telling us, "Hey, you got 2 minutes. Wrap it up." And the guy's like, "Hey, you got 13 minutes." He's like, "Don't tell me how much fucking time I have." So then Bischoff's set, I think, had to be cut short because it was a hard out. So yeah, it's a shoot for me. It ain't a work. Yeah, there's some clips of it on YouTube, I think. Yeah, I loved the Ric Flair roast. I mean, it was like a fantasy weekend. The whole weekend was awesome because I didn't really know Tyler Morrison, and he's an awesome dude. And Shuley, that's Shuley was good to me, and who else? John Moses was really funny. Dan Saint Germain, I've known Dan for a while, and then I got to hang out with Vicky Guerrero, Bischoff, DDP, Flair, Luger, Magnum TA. The Von Erich kids, Brian Pillman Jr., like Jay Lethal. It was awesome. So, Bully Ray, I got to sit next to Bully Ray. And, at one point, I don't think I've ever told this story. So, someone was bombing on stage. And, like and sub, please. I need the help, guys. Yeah, whatever. Get some rumors out there. I thought you were going to say someone else. Uh, yeah, I mean, that's the thing I don't like about the Comedy Central and Netflix roast. Um, is that they're not friends with the people. Like Tom Brady doesn't know who Tony Hinchcliffe is. I mean, he does now, but he probably didn't know who Tony was, and he probably barely knows who Nikki is, and probably doesn't know who Andrew Schultz is. So he's probably going like, "Who the fuck are these people? I'm like the greatest quarterback of all time. Fuck off." Oh, it's Chicken Man Brennan in the house. Are you Cornette or Russo in your feud with Lifshitz? I would say I'm Cornette. Well, here's the problem with Ty Domi, and I had to go on after him, if you remember. Ty was reading off the teleprompter, and the teleprompter froze. So then Ty froze. So it really wasn't Ty's fault. Because they asked me, hey, do you want your jokes on a teleprompter? I'm like, fuck that, man. I'm not taking the chance that what happened to Ty is going to happen to me. Now, the only thing that sucked on the roast for me was I'm the only one who didn't get an introduction. I came in right out of a commercial break. They just put me out there, and Brad, the MC, he brought up everyone. Hey, you've seen Tyler Morrison on Roast Battle, blah, 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 blah. You've seen Ty Domi, a hockey player. I just started. And so I think people, like my first joke, they were like, who the fuck is this guy? So it would have been nice to have like an introduction or something. 100% there, ACDC. I did the one Jeff Ross joke that people were like, why is he doing a Jeff Ross joke? I just had to, man. I couldn't help myself. So, I mean, it would have helped because I don't think people thought, is this guy part of the roast or like, because I think if Brad, who was he's like that college football guy, if he would say, hey, come next up is you've seen him on Roast Battle and the Jellies, and that is my standard intro, the crowd's going to at least go, okay, this guy's legit. He's on like 3 TV shows. I mean, I was probably the only one of the comics who was on like 3 or 4 TV shows on air at the time, but it's fine. Yeah, I still had a good time, and I got him going after the Hulk Hogan joke. Although I did forget my favorite joke, I was looking so forward to. Bennington wasn't on the roast. I was looking so forward to going, hey, where's Brian Knobs, man? And Knobs was literally right over my right shoulder. I'm like, hey, let's give it up for Knobs, man. Doesn't he look great? I mean, he can finally say he has a better body than Luger. That would have killed in that room. But I think it was when Ty was not. No, it wasn't when Ty was later on in the roast. Someone was not doing well. I forget who it was. So I pulled up my dick pic on my telephone. Let's say this is my phone, and this is the dick pic. And I just went like this so everyone could see it. And Bully Ray taps me on the shoulder and goes, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, my bad, dude. I'm ribbing. I'm doing a rib. Yeah, Pert Perkins has not been seen since his $300 super chat day. That's my luck. I love Ovechkin, by the way. Typical. I lose the only $300 super chatter. He was my Chandler, and I don't mean New York Chandler. Did the MC give Shuli a pedo intro? That's the funny thing is none of us had any dirt on the MC. I do know Rich Voss and his lovely wife Bonnie. Um, and so Shuli just made it up. Did like 3 or 4 pedophile jokes on Brad, and Brad was like, "What the fuck?" 100%, 100% it does. Yeah, I feel bad for Knobs. I mean, he was in bad shape. I mean, that Ric Flair roast was shit. That was like almost 3 years ago, and he was in bad shape then. So I can only imagine what shape he's in now. Jamie is wondering why you deny. I don't know who you're talking about. Do you know Bob Saggy? No, I know Bob Saget. I don't know Bob Saggy. Is Bob Saggy a fat comic? Ho, ho. Hit the like and subscribe button. Um, I mean, I wouldn't say I knew Bob Saget, but he did watch me once in the original room in front of literally like 2 people, and I just started doing really dirty jokes because I knew he liked dirty jokes, and he came up to me at the end of the night and whispered into my ear, "Love the dark stuff." Um, Bonnie is awesome. She was actually the director, producer, whatever you want to call it, of the Shane Doan roast. So a lot of love for Queen Bonnie. Um, I mean, I hope they made money. I mean, his foot. I mean, he was limping 2.5 years ago, so I don't know. I don't know what his. Just his body's probably giving out on him. Yeah, yeah, good for Mike Fisher. No, I don't keep up with that. I mean, if I'm not on it, I don't care who else is on it. So I don't. I honestly don't know. I mean, I'm sure they'll get some big names. I mean, I'm sure Tony will shoot for the moon because that's what he does. Try and get The Rock and stuff. I mean, that's why they had me sitting behind Knobs because they're like, hey, he might fall over. And, there was like a little shoebox we all stood on, and his feet were like 50% over it, man. So if you watch when Knobs is on, you see me kind of like sitting on the edge of my seat just in case he fell down. And my plan was if he fell, I wasn't going to catch him. It'd be a work. And then I'd just come in and do the jokes I forgot to do. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but Jeff's such a kiss ass. He probably would. And Jeff doesn't even like fucking wrestling, but that's Jeff's talent. He gets on stuff that he has no business being on. So, I don't worry about it. And I'm sure if he's on it, I'm definitely not going to be on it. Wait, Tony. Yes, Tony is doing the WrestleMania roast. My night's pretty good, actually. I'm going to do about a half-hour stream tonight and then go work out. Ever heard of the beef hogger? I don't. We don't talk about beef hogging in here. Um, so, hello. I mean, Knobs was a great guy. I tried to help him out. He wanted to start a podcast, but I think he wanted me to be the co-host. But I'm like, bro, it ain't gonna work. You and I think Tampa, me and here, just the technical difficulties. Yeah, I mean, you can't do comedy if you're writing. Your whole life is a writer. I did not do wrestling in high school. I mean, well, Jeff Ross questions are yes, they are $100. Jeff Ross insults are free and can be done in all caps. Um, have you ever spent time? Yeah, my brother got married there many, many, many moons ago. If Lifshitz does the roast, hopefully he has people with sting masks. Kenton one is you. That would be funny. See, like if Jeff had any fucking comedy instinct, we would do something like that. But he doesn't. Yeah, yeah, 100%. I believe. I like the way you think. I mean, I remember it was the first year the Tampa Bay Lightning were there, and I was like, where are the fucking billboards? Like, there was no promotion of this team, but it's worked out. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, I'm more familiar with Ross, but I know Callan's they're both pretty creepy. That's a tie, man. It really I mean, I guess I'd say Jeff just because Callan doesn't he's not in charge of shows like Jeff is, so I have not seen that movie. Yes, big girls do need love too. Believe me, I know. I know a lot of them. Where the fat girls at? Where are the girls at in this stream? Trust me. I can tell you where they're not. They're here. Um, I don't know who Jamie is, Tommy. Yes, if you ask me one more time about Jamie, I'm putting you in 24 timeout. Yeah, we don't talk about Ray DeVito in here. Yeah, the Beatles are okay. I like their hits. Yeah, I mean, I just was like, okay, there's gonna be like billboards and like when I went to Winnipeg to do comedy, like the Jets are the whole fucking city, man. Like, there's Jets posters and stickers and jerseys and T-shirts in every business. Now, granted, I know it's Winnipeg and there's nothing to do there, but like, I would have thought Tampa would have been better promoted, but no, I'm straight edge, super dude, some dude. I'm straight edge. I'm straight edge. Whoa, 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 Jamie's crying. Wow, wow. Winnipeg's very cold. I will say that. I haven't seen Vince the ShamWow guy lately. We used to also play on Saturdays in Mar Vista. It's a great ball hockey rink in Mar Vista. And very competitive game, the Saturday morning game. A lot of Canadians would show up, and like if you think Canadians are good playing ice hockey, you should see them play ball hockey. I mean, it's next level. Yeah, I definitely am the most interesting straight edge person. So yeah, I bet he does. Yes, you grew up very lucky to see those three guys play. Yeah, he's not bad. He's got a great body for hockey. Very lean. I mean, he's not very athletic, but he's the type that once he got the ball in the corners, he was pretty good because it's just like his body is so lanky. Um, like me, I'm kind of the opposite. I mean, I'm lanky, but I have a little bit more power in my legs. So I would do the John LeClaire Yager move and just stick your ass out, and then no one can get around you to get to get it. I mean, I think he's a grifter, the ShamWow guy. He's always trying to sell something, be a ShamWow, or he's like the new Billy Mays Hayes thing, or he was the new. But then that prostitution thing kind of put I think it hampered his ability to do infomercials. Yeah, the slap chop. So yeah, I mean that kind of took him down. There really isn't a guy right now that's known for that. So there is a market out there for like the new ShamWow guy or Billy Mays Hayes, but I'm not sure um, what or who I should say would be a good choice. But I'm sure someone on late night TV will be the new Ron Popeil. I think Ron Popeil used to live in my neighborhood because I would always see him walking on Santa Monica Boulevard. Um, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, I've kind of lost touch with him because this league I knew him from was in Garden Grove, and then the Saturday morning games in Mar Vista, I was just too it was just too early for me to get up and make it. You think Tony Click Clack can get Vince for the roast? I mean, it's a possibility. I know. I heard Kiss is doing like some special. I mean, I don't think they should do it with Bruce Kulick. Nobody cares, to be honest with you. And I know Bruce, and I feel bad for Bruce because he's a great guy and a great guitar player. But the real money is with Ace and Peter, at least with Ace. Um, so I don't know. Um, I don't think Peter Chris can drum. Not that Kiss is that difficult, but I mean, I think Eric Singer probably if they ever play with Ace again, I would guess it would be Gene Paul, Ace, and Eric Singer. All right, Tommy, you're gone. I don't get the Jamie thing. It's like 3 or 4 times. It's not funny. A fifth time, it ain't gonna be funny. So see ya. They'll play with Ace again if the money's right. I mean, Ace was a nightmare on the reunion tour because I know people who worked on it and they hated him. But the money's the money, and they make a lot more. I mean, they did sell out shows with Tommy Thayer, but I mean, I just can't. If they do that's there's never really a last tour with these fucking guys. Um, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, so can you imagine Ace on a tour? It's like Steven Adler, but I think they sell more merch. I think with Ace and at least with Ace on it. Although listen, I bought every fucking shirt at the last show, so uh, yeah, I mean they didn't get along 50 years ago, but money is money to Gene and Paul, and although it will be very interesting. I think this Friday, the Live Off the Soundboard series gets a new edition. They are releasing a Live Off the Soundboard show from the Asylum tour, which is with Bruce Kulick and Eric Carr on drums. Um, and it's interesting that all the merch on it just has Gene and Paul. So, and the fans got really angry at that. So, I mean, the Asylum was like that's Kiss era when they all look like fucking B. Arthur and shit. So, I'm an Angels guy, and we've been so bad. I just check to see the scores every night. I was a real baseball fan as a kid. I was a Cincinnati Red fan. I have a baseball upstairs, a foul ball I caught. Is a 3-2 pitch, Cincinnati Reds off Jim Kern, old school. Jim Kern was the pitcher. Pedro Guerrero was the batter. And I was sitting second level, first base side, like 50-yard line, if you will. Real good seats. And the ball went into the third level, came back down, bounced off some old guy's head and right into my lap. And I took that shit. Um, so, well, Kiss doesn't own their catalog anymore, so now it's really up to whoever bought it for 300 million. They can do what they want. They own it. So I think it's good for fans because now you're going to see like more Live Off the Soundboard shit. Like I wanted to get a Live Off the Soundboard of say Crazy Nights tour. Um, yes, I remember that J.J. Jackson unveiled the new, or not the new, but the non-makeup era of Kiss. Gene Simmons, Paul Stanley, Vinnie Vincent, and Eric Carr. Their first show was in Lisbon, Portugal. And it's a great show. The bootleg is up. It's not the greatest resolution, but the sound's good. I mean, man, did they play those songs faster with Vinny and than Mark specifically. and Eric Carr on drums, and then a little more calmer when Bruce joined. I know. Well, yeah, I'm a little tired, Brian McClory. You know, I've had a long day of conducting business. All right, John, get some sleep. Would you pay $100 a month to music executives to allow you to play a song on here? Yeah, I probably would. You know, be a funner show if you could just, play whatever song you wanted. Is that the plan? Is YouTube thinking about doing that? Well, actually, Ace Frehley did not write New York Groove. That was a Russ Ballard song. Um, well, but I mean, I think like you're going to see Kiss songs in more movies now because they want to make their $300 million back, and they just don't want to make their money back. They want to profit. So, um, well, I mean, double platinum. It was a little early in the game to do a greatest hits album. I mean, I get it. Kiss was untouchable back then. You could release a song of them yodeling, and it would have like been a big seller. Um, how did I deal with trauma? And um, I've never done drugs, so I don't know. It's not a big deal to me to deal with trauma because I've never done drugs, so I don't miss them. I don't require. I don't lean on them. I mean, I would say my favorite era now, but if you've done drugs, my man, and now you're kind of struggling to deal with problems without them, then that I get. I can't answer that question. But I mean, I would say my favorite era. Yes, I mean, yeah, I take that back. But I have done drugs, caffeine, but I'm talking about weed, coke, mushrooms, pills, uppers, downers, Molly, ecstasy. Um, well, my dad was from Chicago, and my mom was from Cartersville, Georgia. So I got kind of an interesting voice to be able to do stuff like EA Sports. It's in the game. Um, so Skakel, it's actually Skakel, not Sakel. Means the drugs have always dined him. I don't know what you're saying, brother. Um, so let's see. Oh, message held in review. But you know what I'm saying though? Like since I've never done it, I don't think, oh, maybe if I got on drugs, I'd be able to solve my problems more. I mean, a lot of people have said, Earl, you're so funny sober. If you loosened up a little bit with weed or whatever, you'd be 100 times funnier. But I'm good. Yeah, the EA Sports is just a random. I don't. I mean, Chicago, Illinois. I mean, I think he was probably not in like the worst part of the town. I mean, he wasn't living with the poors, but. And then mom was from the deep south at the time, Cartersville, Georgia, living on a horse farm, thoroughbred horse farm. So she had an interesting upbringing. So my voice is really unique because when people would call my house and my mom would answer, they thought she was black. Like she had a very thick, thick, thick southern twang. And my dad's voice was pretty deep. Um, I mean, we'll see. Like, I liked the last Kiss live off the soundboard, which was the only full show Mark St. John had ever played. It's just interesting to see him play the songs live. Of course, Rock and Roll All Night cuts out toward the end, as well as I think Young and Wasted. Because I don't think Kiss thought they were ever going to release the tapes, so they didn't have a full um, length tape recorder or whatever they were using to record. So it's just kind of funny. Kiss is the only group that could get away with releasing a live album where two songs cut out right in the middle. Have you ever made someone cry with a joke? No, I get along with my family. No, my jokes aren't. My jokes are more about me than they are the audience. So, I mean, I did do my 9/11 joke once, and someone was like, I lost my brother in Tower Two. I'm like, but I wasn't talking about that 9/11. There's been a lot of 9/11s. Hey, um, what happened? They thought he was white. Leroy's voice sounded more whiter than my mom's, and Leroy was so black. He made Kimbo Slice look like an albino. Hello. So just so the how I got my voice was a very weird combination of my mom and dad's voices. And I think my voice is getting deeper um, the older I get. So you need to book some gigs. Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, that's the thing. This manager I signed with, I get on just half of the TV shows he says he can get me on. Then I could tour anywhere in the country. Um, yeah, Leroy, hello there, hello there. I mean, Leroy was black. Let me tell you about that. I got a picture of him around here somewhere, but I mean, he was like Kamala, the wrestler, black. Golden Art. No, no, we don't. They're not getting anyone on any shows. I mean, I knew a girl who was on Sons of Anarchy. I think it was like season. I think it was like season 2 and season 3. And she signed. This is a true story. She signs with Golden Artists. I've never seen her work since. I mean, they are a career killer. That rogue operation. Yeah, I mean, some people just aren't ready for those type of jokes. Oh, we got pulled over several times. Because you got to understand, Leroy drove a green Dodge Charger, and he was incredibly black. Now, this is at a time where Bel Air, there really weren't a lot of black people. It was OJ, Kareem, and maybe Will Chamberlain. So when we would drive through Bel Air and get out of Bel Air, we got pulled over at least 5 times that I can remember as a kid, where the officer would take Leroy in the car, and then they'd come back. And I had long hair as a kid, like it was a real, it was the '70s. It was, like my hair was like past my shoulder, and every time the cops would look in the car and go, "Miss, do you know this guy?" I'm like, "Miss, shit." Um, yeah, I mean, there's a great game tonight. The Islanders and the Blue Jackets. I mean, you went to overtime, so both. I mean, it's tight. I don't think I've ever seen a race that's tight, and the West is tight too. So it's good hockey and a good weekend for the Kings. They scored 14 goals in 2 games. Um, Stuttering John, Ron Jeremy, Hans Mitchell, Bezo goal. I know. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, you know, and he was lying, saying they represented Cedric the Entertainer. I'm like, I'm sure William Morris would love to hear who you are. Um, so, hey, go check out the show. I think it's on Netflix. The Killers have Killed Tony. Wow. Um, yeah, I mean, I can understand why the cops. I mean, you got to understand how awkward it looked. I mean, some small white kid in the back of a green Dodge Charger. Um, and Leroy never really got mad. Leroy was in the Korean War, so like I'm sure like he was just happy to like have a gig. And my parents paid very well, and they paid under the table, baby. They showed Leroy the money, honey. Um, so yeah, I mean Dodgers and Chargers. I don't know about that. Um, Leroy was definitely a bushman, Newport. No, no, I was just a little kid. Police probably saw like some little what they thought was a girl in the back seat. Um, so Leroy would take me to Sambo's every Tuesday. Isn't that crazy? That there was an actual restaurant named Sambo's. If you can remember the logo, it was like some black dude with a bone ring, and like, and then here's the crazy thing: they still have a Sambo's in uh, Santa Barbara. I went to that one with, well, we won't say with who, but you guys could probably figure that out. See, I said we'd do a 30-minute stream, and we're already 12 minutes in to OT. I mean, I don't really like all these sponsorship things, The Angels have something on the side of their caps. I don't know what it is, but it's like an AutoZone. No, we don't do the Anthony Cumia stuff in here. Okay. I didn't know that. Hackmania 2 lost a banner performer. OJ, would you take his place, please? No. I mean, they're not doing stand-up. And since I don't do the Dabbleverse stuff, I'm useless. I mean, I hope it's a fun show. I mean, I had a fun time, I mean, would I do it again? Probably not. Just because that crowd doesn't want stand-up. They want Dabbleverse. They want like a Dabbleverse roast. So, yeah, I went there the last couple times I went with somebody. And when we went to Santa Barbara, like they had the best omelets there. I mean, I know like the word Sambo isn't exactly known to like it's not a great word in reference to African Americans, but the omelets are great. It's like the time I was wearing a pair of Von Dutch jeans, and at the time they were like my favorite pair of pants. They had all these patches on them, and this black guy comes up to me and goes, that guy said the N-word. I'm like, no, I didn't. He's like, well, what are you going to do about it? I'm like, hey, man, these pants fit really good. Hey-oo! Hey-oo! So Lois is, yes, she's sleeping now. She's she sleeps like a baby, and then she coughs once, and then it's on, brothers. Yeah, in the 50s, you can have a dog named Sambo. I don't know if in 2025 it would be a wise move. Oh, is Sambo's a lawn jockey? Is that what? I mean, it was something like even as a kid, I was like, man, this logo goes hard. And I think the last time I was at Sambo's in Santa Barbara, they had taken the logo down, but they had a cool plaque saying this was the original Sambo's, and you could still kind of see the logo scratched off. So I don't know what you're talking about, Muffin Man. In my dreams. I don't know. What up? Of course, I wish you were a girl calling me daddy, but hey, what the hell? Welcome to the Earlverse stream. We run a nice, tight stream here. I love Dawkins. I like their hits, Breaking the Chains. I mean, Don Dawkins did have a unique voice, kind of like Stephen Pearcy. It's not like the typical metal voice, But when you hear "In My Dreams" or "Dream Warriors," it's Dawkins because of the voice. I had to kick Dawkins out of Lemmy's dressing room once because my girlfriend, who was one of their managers, like, hey, some guy just went into Lemmy's dressing room. Can you kick him out? So I go in there, and it's Don Dawkins taking beers out of Lemmy's cooler. I'm like, hey, man, you got to go. And he's like, Lemmy told me I could take some beer. I'm like, we both know Lemmy. That never happened, brother. So take what you got and beat it. I'll get you laid big time when you come up to Nate. I mean, I don't really need any help getting laid, but I appreciate that. But for me to go to New England, it's got to be a big paying gig. Like I'm talking 5 to 10 grand plus expenses. And very few clubs are going to pay me that. Now, if I get on a TV show here and there, then it's on like Donkey Kong, baby doll. But Yeah, I like Dio with Vivian Campbell. I kind of lost. I love Rainbow in the Dark. What a great video, guitar solo, and Mystery. That's probably my favorite Dio song. Um, 8,000 pound. Well, because you got to understand, I fly first class, so that in and of itself is probably to New England, a first class ticket there and back. That's probably 2,500. And then my performance fee, it's typical show is, if it's a bigger club, you play one show Thursday, two Friday, two Saturday, one Sunday. If it's, selling well, if not, take out the Sunday. Or if it is selling really well, you have three on Saturday, 6, 8, and the late show. Like when we did Rob Schneider, we always had three shows on Saturday. Peter Chicken Man Brennan, if your life depended on wrestling knowledge, what comic you asking for help? Your old co-host, the Mike Black lookalike? You mean Fast Eddie Torres? Um, I'd call RJ City and then Eddie. Um, no. I mean, New England is up in the corner of America, but it's excuse me. It's we'll go another 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. It's one of those things. I broke it down, like what it costs to do a show in Florida. They wanted to do that layout I just give you: one Thursday, two Friday, three Saturday, and one Sunday. And so that's what is that? 1, 3, 6, 7 shows, at least an hour each show. And when I'm rolling, especially on the last show, you can do whatever you want. That's about anywhere from let's say 7 to 9 hours of performing, which is not a problem for me. No, I'm just a little tired. That's all. And then there's obviously the plane rides. That's probably about a 5-hour plane ride there. Let's say 5 and 5. So that's 18 to 19 hours flying and performing, and then there's going to the airport, morning radio, blah blah blah. So that's another 2 to 3 hours. So it's a lot of time. So that's why for me the pay has to be really good, or I just want I'd rather do a voiceover gig. So, well, I'd have to know how many shows, how many seats, it's. I'm actually an incredibly detailed person, so I know I probably don't strike people as Earl cares about details or whatever, but I actually do. So, I don't leave my house unless I know exactly what's going on. I'm not gonna, like when what was the first thing they had for the Dabbleverse? Something Con in Rochester, DabbleCon. And Shuley was like, "Hey, come out, man. We'll pay you what we can." And I love Shuley, but there really wasn't a lot of details. It was like, "Just come out, and we'll figure it out." I said, "Well, is there lodging?" Yeah, I think there should be room for you in the house we rented. I'm like, "You think?" Like, I'm not. And that weekend, I think it was like -2 degrees. I'm like, I'm not going to be like, and I would not have been the headliner on that. It would have been like Kumia or whatever. So like I was not gonna fly to the opposite end of the country for some random amount. Yes, DabbleCon. So well, I mean, they could probably get a local comic, Articulate John, to do it for 1,500. I don't mean, when I say my rate is my rate, I don't mean like pay me or fuck off, bud. I just mean like to get me to leave LA, you know, like I told you a couple weeks ago, I did a Georgia State Lottery commercial. I literally had to say this: Georgia State Powerball, buyer scratchers now, void where prohibited. I had to say it like 15 times. I was out in 20 minutes. It was $1,850. Bam. So now, not every day is like that. Not every gig pays that well. Not every gig takes 20 minutes to do. But so when I have that in my back pocket, I'm not going to fly to the East Coast unless you show me the money, honey. Well, I don't wear condoms. I mean, you can't get your AIDS twice. Hello. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. No, I mean, Shuley was good to me on the Ric Flair roast. I just meant he said, "Hey, we'll pay you what we can," and I was just like, "Hey, man, so what about air travel and whatnot?" And I think the air travel was on me, and it wouldn't have been financially worth it. Like it would have been fun to hang with Shuley and I guess Kumia, but I'm probably no one in this stream thinks that I am a detail freak, but I am. So I don't do request. You have to show me the money, honey. Um, oh yeah, I mean, but like there's so many commercials on radio. You can hear a commercial for an auto parts store or something along those lines, and someone had to go in there and do Manny Moe and Jack, get your Pennzoil motor oil, $3 for 4 quarts. That I'm still a huge Kumia fan. I mean, I don't like the racist shit, but like but I was always a Stern guy, so I never listened to Opie and Anthony. I mean, I heard of them, but in LA they just weren't a big deal. Um, so besides KB, what Dabbleverse comic you putting on Earl and Friends show at the store if they're all in town? None of them. um, I mean, KB's the headliner, obviously. Um, I mean, Chad. Well, Florentine, if he wanted, I mean, but I don't consider Florentine a Dabbleverse comic. Who else? I mean, that's about it. Like, but if you're saying guest, I would have a lineup of KB, Florentine, Chad, Godfrey, me, and man, that's about it. Oh, thank you, Kathy Smith. Oh, thank you, Sherry Wallace. I appreciate that very much. Um, well, he's never going to be in Los Angeles. He has no need to be in Los Angeles. So, EA Sports, it's in the game. Um, I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, I mean that's really the only. Right. I mean, I saw Ray once at the Hackamania last year. I mean, I think he was a little cocky just because I don't think he realized they weren't necessarily laughing at his jokes. They were just like, "Oh, this is the guy we all goof on. He's in person." So there was an excitement in the room. Now, Brendan Schaub would never be on a comedy show that I was promoting. Ever travel overseas, Earl? I have not. There was a. I mean, I'd had Levy on. Yeah, I'd have Shuley on if he was. But I'm not gonna. If they're all in town, like for whatever they're doing a DabbleCon in Vegas, and they all came to LA. They're in LA for one night. I would. We'd pack out the belly room. I don't think any of them are gonna fill the main room, but like all of them together, who knows? Maybe they would. That's I'll take that idea into consideration. Our socks. Um, I don't know who Sal Governale is, to be honest with you. What happened to the letter? It's got to be read at the right time. It's not right now. It's not right. I saw another ex last night. I got a lot of exes, man. Um, I did. Rotten Apple. I did have a very good day. Got some good news about the career. So we're just plugging along. But now I have a full advocate on my side. So, I mean, I don't know about that or sucks. If that's funny to you, then, you should probably go into the Ray DeVito stream. Uh, oh, if we could get Neil and KB to do a bumping mics, that would break the internet. And the Comedy Store tapes everything in like 8K cameras now. So, like, that's why you see all my shorts I put out are done off the Comedy Store camera feed. Can you imagine? Who knows? Get on Conan. I mean, it's not that easy, but um, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Mr. B. I don't know who Mr. B is. Oh, you're being sarcastic. My bad. My bad. You better rework that one, brother. Better. All right, we got 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes, and then yeah, we don't do Michael Ray Bauer or Joey C or any of these other fucking guys in the Dabble land. This is a serious stream. Come on, man. Message held for review. These are always the fun ones. I don't like that kind of humor, but it's Ari. It's Ari's brand. So, um, I don't. I'm not a big fan of doo-doo humor. All right, so here's what we're gonna do to end the stream. We'll do a little bit of outside. There are my shoes, so we're gonna put my shoes on. There's Lois's tennis ball in the corner. Lois be sleeping right now. Let me put my. I don't know if Ryan Nordahl is still here. We got the Rudy Poshek game-worn Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's give Rudy some love here. Rudy some love. The great Rudy Poshek. One of the all-time great tough guys. All right, we're going to put the Lois cam on right now. I know. My baby. All right. There we go. All right, let me put Lois down. Yeah, I mean, Lois is a smoker's cough, I tell people. Is she wagging her tail? See, I know my dog. Damn, that's a lot of pee for a small dog. Let's take her on the grass in case she got to make a duty. And yes, I have bags to cover her duty. You perverts. We'll just walk in the middle of the street. Come on. Come on, Lois. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to pick up urine. Bag's in my pocket. Well, right now, nothing's in the bag, but if Lois makes a doo-doo, then the bag will be filled with her doo-doo. Her doo-doo. We don't film Lois going doo-doo. So we'll just give you guys a view of the hotel. Now I pick up the duty. Right here. I put it in here. And then we go back home. That's how quick it is. Let's cut across. Thank you guys for joining the Earl world tonight. Come on, Lois, get out of the street, baby doll. All right. It's cold out here. Hey. Hey. Well, she might go back for seconds. No, she's had enough. Come on, Lois, sit here. Lois wants a little food. Look at that food bowl, it's empty. so we put a little kibble in there. And then we put a little seasoning on it. Do a little shake. Shake and serve, baby. All right, you kids. EA. It's in my name.